All right, are you here?
I
Kyle?
am
Are you
here.
actually?
I am here. Been here
Am
for.
I interrupting you or something? Or
No,
like,
I was just waiting for you to finish your thoughts. I was like getting the stream set up and then just kind of waiting to, and you just kept going, and I was like, man, he's like making some really good points right now. I don't even want to interrupt because I'll just say something stupid and look dumb by proxy. And I'm still just
Don't
trying to make
interrupt
sure my
that.
chest doesn't cave in because my body's
All right.
trying to kill me right now.
Are you streaming now though?
Yes, my stream is up now.
All right. Do you want to take over?
Well, I mean, we're already pretty well on in. I'm not
All right.
too concerned with it, but well, FJ, thank you for being here. I do appreciate you coming on.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about that. It's always a pleasure. So we see the last two picks coming out from the two teams. We see Wild Soul and Tempest being picked up by Trademark eSports. So both teams filled up with guide tier picks right here. Red Hack being picked up as the last pick from Legion side. So we definitely see some very interesting picks right here.
Yeah,
What do you have to say? Who do you think? Who do you think is the best team right now?
well,
Who do
I
you
mean,
think?
it's really interesting because normally the lockpicking pool, like, it's about who can get the better heroes and try to force their opponents to get bad heroes. In this case, everyone got nothing but good heroes. So it's very, very difficult to make the call. Now, it's going to come down to a lot of the lanes here, and seeing Wild Soul, Tempest, and Bubbles all on the same team, that leads me to believe that Bubbles is going to be going suicide, or excuse me, Bubbles is going to go mid while Wild Soul goes suicide, Tempest jungles, but then what are they going to do with this Hammerstorm? Who's going to be playing support over here on tdM? That's just like, if they can survive the early game here with this lineup, that'd be great, but what is with this lineup?
It's very interesting to see because if you look at Insania right now, it looks like he will be actually be playing a support Bubbles, which is obviously very interesting. We don't see that too often. Actually, to be honest, I've pretty much never seen that happening in competitive play before.
It's awful.
It should be awful, yeah, because he's gonna be supporting a Hammerstorm in the middle lane, which is obviously not too great.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that's one good thing is that Hammerstorm with that 2 second stun, that might actually lock him down enough to put out the damage, but Bubbles, until he hits level 6 and he's able to get that kelp field, which is on a 90-second cooldown, until he gets that, he doesn't have any slows or stuns. His silence is an extremely small range, and he has to put himself into a very dangerous position to get that off. And at level, the low levels, when you're going to be not getting points into that until generally more than 1 point after level like 7, it's what, like a tenth of a second silence at level 1 or something like that. I can't even tell, but it's very, very low. So I'm interested to see how they're going to do with that team, and I think that Complexity, they have the better roster here with the dual lane mid. Actually, that's not a dual lane. That's Ophelia. I keep on thinking this is Voodoo Jester, but that's
It's
new
not complexity
Ophelia's
game
team.
either. It's not complexity. It's
Yeah.
Tralfmadore's
Yeah,
team.
the mixed scrim. Mixed scrim. Sorry, I was expecting this to be a cold scrim, and then that got canceled. So yeah,
Yeah, this is
the
definitely
mixed scrim
very
team.
interesting to see. So it's going to be Wretched Hack against the Wild Soul here at the bottom lane, and normally you'd see Wretched Hack come on top of the short lane. But the thing is, he's against the Boo Boo, and Boo Boo just deals so much harassment to a low armor hero such as Wretched Hack, and he's going to be tanking a lot of damage due to these creeps and this Boo Boo pulling a decent side right here. But as you see, they actually clash up here in the middle of the whole thing, and Jeppins is actually doing the right thing when he's playing Wretched Hack. But now Tempest, will he actually be doing something? No, he will not. So it's just going to be a clash right here outside of the lane, actually. And it's actually very interesting to see how people kind of, like, what do you call it, adjust to the Wild Soul Bear Pool.
Yeah, and like you said, Jeppin's making the correct movement right there as best as he could, trying to reestablish lane control, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to do that. So he's still going to have a hard time down here. Like you said, low armor on Hag. If one root goes out, Hag's going to probably lose half of her life pool. So it's going to be dependent on how effective Jeppins is, how much distance he's able to put between himself and the bear, and really how effective his CS is. But this middle lane, Les QQ, I mean, he's currently on the Cole team, tagged up as Cole, but not a player, at least wasn't in the past, so who knows, maybe he'll be filling in at some point in the future, but yeah, he's going to be going 1v2 with Meraxes against Hammerstorm Bubbles, and I mean, what's your expectation there?
Well, the thing is, Bubbles doesn't provide any harassment whatsoever, apart from his aura. It's like he doesn't have any sort of stuns like Andromeda or any hard harassment like Illumina who has his power throw or Glacius who can slow and make harassment happen that way. And his base damage really isn't that good either. So like I don't know. I mean, you can say that Bubbles wouldn't get initiated on, seeing as he does have that kind of take cover to kind of dodge most aggressive spells and harassment. But Mirax is not going to die here in the middle lane unless he makes a huge misplay. So that's just going to be good for LessQQ, and actually he's sitting at 180 gold per minute, which is actually not too bad against the dual lane.
Yeah, certainly doing well up there. And the top lane should definitely be won here by, well, the mixed scrim team. Got Testy playing Moon Queen. I mean, if anybody's going to be able to farm in this long lane, it's going to be Testy, as he's already sitting at 10 and 10 in terms of CS. He's got great lane position. He's going to start to try to last hit off of the tower. Meanwhile, his partners, Fitsky on Glacius and Tralf on Ophelia, they're looking for kills on Draconis deep in the jungle. But middle lane, that might be where the first kill's coming in, as Tempest is looking like he wants to go in on this Miraxes.
Yeah, it could look like he wants to be doing something like that, but he's going to be stacking the creeps right first. And if you want to stack these creeps, you have to attack the healer, otherwise it's not going to be stacked. Just a common information for everyone right here. But you got to like pay attention to NoobG right now, because he's sitting at 70 gold per minute right now. He's like just trying to get creeps in the jungle right here. He cannot go to the lane because Moon Queen is doing an excellent job on creeping the creeps right where he wants them. He's not doing anything to push this lane.
Bottom lane, Root goes out on the Hag. She had to blink out of there. Both players going to actually potion up, but yeah, like I said, Hag takes one root, and she just takes so much damage.
And the huge difference between these two is that Wretched Hag is now completely out of, well, not completely out of mana, but he only has like 1 or 2 blinks left. So he cannot really be taking last hits that way. And it's very difficult for him to harass Wildstorm because of that chance of getting root off. So at the bottom lane, we do see Wildstorm coming out a little bit on top right now. Wretched Hag only sitting at 140 gold per minute so far. Mirax is now going to be trying to go for the rune right at the bottom, but Tempest is going to interrupt him with that Glacius Blast.
Oh, there's the hammer thrown. Nice use of the Arcane Shield, though.
Yeah, so he will definitely be fine. At the top lane, we see Ophelia being on the run from Draconis. Draconis is going to be, he is going to be fine for now, though. Glacius is now continuing to harass the Draconis, and Draconis doesn't even know what to do right now. He's, I can tell NoobG is probably frustrated right now. I would be, certainly.
Yeah, he's a player that every once in a while you get into this position, you're going short lane solo as a carry, and your opposing team mans up on you, runs the aggressive tri-lane, pseudo tri-lane, you just get harassed the entire time. But that's something that I'm sure he knows how to deal with, and he's doing the right thing. He's actually going to try to get a kill right here with Bubbles, and well, there's the Ice Imprisonment going out. Bubbles is probably just going to snag this Vulture Lord. Is Hammerstrom going to come down the river? No, not going to be any engagement there. But NoobG's doing the right thing. He's making sure not to give up kills. That is probably the most important thing to do, because it's going to be extremely difficult to get farm. But if you give up kills, if you start feeding your opponents, it's going to get even worse.
I gotta say though, why would... Oh, actually we do see a Silence Liquidation. Okay, it's not gonna happen anything. But that's what they gotta do. They gotta silence this Mirax before they initiate, because he's just gonna block every single hammer throw from this Hammer Storm otherwise. And, well, I don't know. I was just thinking, why would you even pick Bubbles as a support in this game? Do you think there's any particular reason?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't watching the picking stage particularly. I was trying to get set up and make sure that I, like, literally wasn't gonna die if I talk. But was he picked up in the lock pool? Was he picked up in the first? Were there no other junglers available? Like, Aluna's not in this game, and I saw her in that lock pool, so...
I'm quite sure that it was actually a part of the lock pool. So I think that's pretty much because the leading team outdrafted him in terms of getting the first support. But Aluna was definitely in the lock pool, so they could have picked up Aluna if they wanted to, but they decided against that.
Yeah.
Actually, they picked up a Wild Soul and Tempest from the lock pool, I'm sure.
That's what I'm looking at right now. And Bubbles was actually the 3rd pick from tdM. So they went with Draconis Hammerstorm, and their 3rd pick, Bubbles. I think they were assuming that mixed scrim team over there was going to go with a first pick on either Wild Soul or the Tempest, and instead, Testy actually picked up Glacius. So once they went for that Glacius pick right there, they said, "Oh crap, we can either try to run Bubbles as support, and take Wild Soul and Tempest from them and make our team ridiculously strong like that, or we can give them Wild Soul and take a Luna right here." And they didn't want to give up Wild Soul, so they tried to go in as there's a Quake in the middle lane. And, well, Thunderblast going to be coming out as well. Shell Surf in. Not going to be using the teleport, though. Minuts wants to go in, though. There's an Axe. Glacial Blast going to come out. There's the freeze back onto Tempest. And looks like, Bubbles is actually going to be in trouble right here, as he's going to use, there's the Bloodlust kill coming out as Tralf uses the Ophelia's Judgment to finish him off.
Yeah, that was really well done. Now, unfortunately, I was wondering what Tralfmadore was doing because he wasn't auto hitting or anything with his Sophia. He was just like kind of running around waiting for the last hit or something. It was pretty interesting to be watching. But yeah, they got the boss loss and well deserved. Well done by what do you call this team? I guess we just call them the Team Tralfmadore or something like that.
I generally call them the mixed scrim team, but you can call them Team Tralf for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Mixed team sounds pretty good as well, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I generally call them. There's been a lot of mixed scrim games going on relatively recently, and I just want to say, like, all the players and all the teams have been scrimming a lot more in the past, say, week or so than they have been in the past. As I mean, I can wake up at any time of the day and go over to Han and probably find at least 2 to 3 scrim games going on. You know, I see some of these mid-tier teams like Lions and Pencils. They're scrimming like 20 times a week. QSQ said that they scrimmed over 25 times last week in preparation for the second weekend of the cycle, as it certainly paid off.
Yeah, it's really amazing to watch. I'm so glad to see how much the level is really improving in Heroes of New Earth right now. I mean, in the past we pretty much see that there was only like 2 or 3 teams who could actually compete for the top, but now, right now I feel like anyone can. We just saw QSQ do amazingly against both SG, COL, as well as well, they did alright against tdM, but I think they lost. No, they didn't. They won against tdM. They beat tdM.
They 2-0'd tdM. They 2-0'd Complexity, and
they lost to Stay Green.
They 2-0'd TTEs, and then they lost 3-2 to Stay Green.
They've been doing really well lately.
Really, really good run from them, that's for sure. Taking a look at this bottom lane again, Jeppens, he's done a pretty good job down here. He's not dead, so that's something to be said for that. Currently, he is 26-7, as opposed to Zai, who's up there at 300 gold per minute at 44-17. Zai, I mean, you've got to commend him. He's doing so well down there in the suicide role, and that's a lane that he probably should win to begin with, but he's doing fantastic. And now Fitsky could be in some serious trouble here. No, not going to be caught out just yet.
Glacier still doesn't have his boots, so he should always be kind of worried about where he's setting his foots, especially because he's only sitting at 88 gold per minute, meaning that he will have to like spend all of his wards and all of his money on wards and upgrade courier and stuff like that. Even though the courier is obviously already upgraded in this competitive game. And in the bottom lane, we actually see Resident getting a root off, and he's just taking so much damage. And Sai actually denying his own bear right here to avoid taking damage. That was pretty well done.
And giving out the 100 gold. There's actually the Skeleton King coming in. Thunder Blast is there as well. Vulture Lord even getting in on the action, and Zai will go down. And he's not going to have a bear cooldown for 100 seconds. That's actually a big deal.
That's a huge deal. I don't even know what he's going to be doing in that time, because it's going to be really difficult for him to jungle, seeing as Noob G is going to be trying to take most of it if he can. Because, well, he needs to. He needs to get his farm back up there. He's only sitting at 114 gold per minute, which is definitely not nearly enough if he wants to get into this late game. But as you all know, Draconis is pretty easy to get it's pretty easy to get your gold per minute up on Draconis, as long as you have someone to stack for you. Only we see the tower getting pushed down, and that was obviously a big kudos to the mixed team right here, getting 2 kills as well as the tower, now sitting in a comfortable 3k gold and XP lead. Yeah, they're going to be pushing the tier 2 tower as well, while Testy actually cleans up some stacks in the enemy team jungle. Actually going to activate the moon finale here, and Minuts will go down. So very well done there by Testy as they get another kill in the bottom lane. So scratch that 3k, make it 5. And, well, Limp gets the kill with a double damage Hammer Storm there in the middle lane. Brute Strength up as well, hitting for 214 damage. Yeah, I'll say that Meraxes died pretty fast. Yeah, indeed. So that's about, how much is that per hit? That's about, what, 20% of his health boot per hit? That's a pretty huge deal. Yeah, pretty much. Now we do see the tower in the mid lane probably gonna go down. They're not gonna be using a glyph for it, and yes, it does fall. Limp gets the tower kill, and he now almost is able to afford his PK. He's just going to be needing another 50 gold, and he'll have it if that's what he decides to go for. I could see him going for a strong head as well in this game, but I feel like a PK is certainly needed, because they do need some kind of initiate, seeing as Insania is not really picking up the best farm on his bubbles. Oh, Moon Queen getting caught out of position right here. Blazing Flight going to come in. She's taking a lot of damage. Going to need the Elemental Void, and there it is. The Dragon Flame did miss. Need the Elementals to get in there as well. And Testy trying to escape. One more auto attack, and he does go down. So even with a couple mistakes right there from the tdM team, had just enough lockdown potential to actually get the kill on the Moon Queen, and that's a big pickoff. That's a really big pickup. They needed to do something like that. And I think that tdM is doing the right thing right now, getting back into the game, because even though they pushed down, even though the mixed team of Tralfmadores pushed up 2 towers here at bottom lane, Sai is now completely free farm. He's going to be farming both the creeps as well as the ancients, if he can get away with that. Meanwhile, Nuki will do his best to push up top lane. He now picked up his steam boots. He can now start to clear jungle. And as long as he keeps the lane pushed, he can do jungle as well. But remember, we gotta remember that he does have a Tempest in the jungle to his farm as well. He picked up a bottle as well, which is very interesting to do for a Tempest. We don't see a bottle Tempest too often, but I guess it's because he went into the enemy jungle. And when you go into the enemy jungle, it's pretty good to pick up a bottle so you can help out with the rune control.
Yeah, Minuts, he does like to go this. It's not uncommon to see him go the Ring of Sorcery, Bonnel, Ghost Marchers, even a push stick, and then into a portal key route. But he does build very much so to the team. I was casting with Pallet yesterday, and that's one of the things that he pointed out, is that, well, they just... Minuts does a really good job of analyzing exactly what he needs against the team. As the Shell Surf's going to come in right here. There's a Glacial Blast coming out as well. Mirax is going to take one more stun here. And there's the Hammer Throw, not stacking the stun. Sonar Scream going to come out. Bat Blast going to hit 2 players right there. Miraxis does go down. Limp going to fall in kind, though. And we'll see if Glacius can get back in there. Thunder Blast already going out. Insania, though, will be able to fall back on the support Bubbles. In the end, a 1-for-1 trade as both teams' mid players go down.
Yeah, so very well done by teams Tralfmadore right here, and they're going to be looking to make a push happen right here with your Freedom minions. Now, actually, we do see Initiate coming out onto Tempest.
Ophelia going to go out, and Tempest takes a big haunt right there. One more auto attack, and he will go down. Almost denied by Bubbles. Glacius taking a lot of pressure. Zai will bring him down, and will Zai be going in again? Jeppin's actually just got a double tap, able to bring down Bubbles deep behind enemy lines. And, well, he's actually going to get stunned right here by Hammerstorm, who just used that portal key. Going to activate the Galvanize and try to hit some more auto attacks. Hag actually stuck right here. Is she going to be spotted, though? It doesn't look like
no,
TDM's
she's
got
not
any
visible right there.
Wow.
Just use the TP. Yeah, she's not going to get caught. Very good. A little bit of a juke from the Yevs. He realized he only had one blink left on his mana pool, so he had to sort of make a juke happen unless he wants to get caught up or something. So better safe than sorry, I guess you could call it. And he went ahead and blinked out and made sure he did not get caught again. So well done by Yevins, I guess. And right after picking up a double tap, he's now sitting at a comfortable 365 gold minute, which is more than Sai, even though Sai was winning the lane at bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely comfortable there. Now, talking about gold per minutes over here on the other team, actually Miraxis gets caught up by the Kelp Field, activates the Matrax. He's going to use the Arcane Shield, not going to block anything. And they're just going to back off, don't want to tango with him. But talking about GPMs, the tdM squad, their initial pickups, the Hammerstorm and the Draconis, already right there. You've got a lot of farm that needs to go around. If you're looking for that Hammerstorm to semi-carry instead of playing an Initiator role, it's going to require a lot of farm. Adding Tempest and Wild Soul to that, there is just not enough farm to go around for everyone to get their core items within a reasonable time on this tdM team.
That's true, but the thing is, right now we do see both Bubbles and Hammerstorm kind of just roaming around. Well, not really Hammerstorm right now, but that's what he's supposed to be doing, seeing he already has his PK. All he needs right now is a strong head, and he'll be golden. He doesn't need to get into that hard carry position, because they have both a Wild Soul as well as a Draconis who can do that already. So, like, I think we'll just pretty much just be seeing Hammerstorm pushing out the side lane when no one else is farming, and just sort of be ready to roam around when needed be with that Bubbles, who's unfortunately only level 7. He needs to be getting some levels, seeing as Bubbles gets really strong when he gets those level 10 or 11-ish. So we see a push coming out from the Legion side, and they do make another tower kill happen here at top lane. So now they have actually picked up all tier 1 towers and actually a tier 2 tower here at the bottom lane as well. So yeah, they're gonna be able to play very aggressively, seeing as there's no towers to GP both in middle lane and top lane apart from the tier 2 ones.
Yeah, not only is that going to get them in a comfortable gold lead, it's going to give them a lot of map control as Weedfield comes in. There's the Shell Surf Song at the Sea. Elemental Void, Flame Breath going to be coming in as well. And down goes not only Ophelia, but all the Minotaurs. Hag get initiated on by double damage Hammerstorm. Bat Blast going out onto 2. Tempest is going to go down. Draconis surviving for now. Will they be able to finish him off? And yes, Dragon will go down. Mirax is trying to get out of there, does not have a portal key. It's going to be a real hard escape if he makes it. A good juke right there on the Quake stun. Hammerstorm looking to land that hammer, but doesn't have enough mana for another 5 seconds or so. And unless Miraxis gets a very good Arcane Shield off, he does go down.
Yeah, so well done by I gotta say that was pretty much props to Japans right there. Even though he was in huge troubles, he actually managed to blow off his ultimate as well as getting a good scream off. Even though he was in even though most players would just blink out immediately, he used his ultimate before that. That was very interesting and well played by Japans right there. He's now gonna be going for a Hellfire. But in the meantime, we actually see Moon Queen just completely free farming here at bottom lane, but Zai picks up a tower before that. He's actually gonna be picking up his Mark of Brilliance on the bear right now. That's a huge deal for the Hellborn team.
17-minute Monk is definitely a huge deal. The strong players over here for the mixed scrim team, though, they're looking pretty good as well. 413 gold per minute on Moon Queen. I mean, you say farm, I say testy. They are synonymous. And he is definitely getting the farm on. As they might even be looking for a kill on Zai. In fact, they are. Blink Up going to be... I mean, there's the Weed Field. Shellsurf going to come out with the Song of the Sea. Ophelia Hill will keep Wretched Hag up for now. One more auto attack and a big root right there. Oh, Jepens is going to be angry. And Glacier is going to be going down as well. Going to be ticked down by the Mock Burn. So Zai gets a double tap and a couple of first hit roots right there. Woo. Big RNG.
Yeah, that was very well done by the Boo Boo right there. He did some really good RNG going on right there.
Yeah.
Dracon's actually being a little bit of trouble here at the bottom, at the top rune. He's gonna pick up the Regen rune. Quake comes out from less QQ playing the Maraxis. He's gonna pick up the kill onto Draconis while Draconis was trying to clear out the Ancients from the Legion side. So, yeah, I don't know. Playing very... Noobg is playing very cocky right now, but yeah, he is managing to get his GPM up there. He's sitting at 255 right now. Does have his sustainer, does have his steam boots, so he's probably be going for that Nullstone as the first item.
Yeah, that is certainly likely. And Testy once again pushing out the bottom lane. Goes for the Shrunken Head first, and he's going to get initiated on right here. And, loses his Wolf Commander. That's a little unfortunate. 5-minute cooldown to pick up a new one of those. And Testy, a player that's fond of dominating creeps, having them help push the lane. Whether that's a Minotaur for the stuns and the attack speed aura, or the base damage aura of the Wolf Commander. Well, of course, it's just going to be nice to have any additional right there. As Glacius is going to run right into Tempest. They both choose to turn around, though. Glacius needs to be careful that he's not going to get picked off by the 4 players roaming through the Hellborn jungle, converging on Wretched Hag. And Jepens, you got to get out of there. There's the Hammerstorm stun. Glacial Blaster there as well, and finished off with a big old Hammersteam swing.
Yeah, Limp definitely doing a lot of damage right here. If you look at the damage tab, the damage coming out from Limp is actually on 16% of total hero damage done. As well as the same goes actually for Wretched Hag. We do see Tralfmadore's team making another push happen here in the middle lane, and the amount of time they spend clearing towers is just like very minimal, but they do get towers down. Towers dropping so fast, so it's so hard for the enemy team to react to that because they have to do it so damn quickly. And normally you could say, okay, we want to defend this tower, we want to prepare to defend this tower, but you just don't have the time to do that against that if you don't have like a really good lane ward. Because the towers are going down so fast with both Ophelia and Ophelia creeps, and extra damage coming out from Moon Queen's aura, as well as the just general.
Testy's gonna have to be careful right
damage.
here.
Yeah, he is indeed.
In on him, and well, there's the kelp field going to be coming out. Hit the Shrunken Head, walks right through that kelp field, and there's the 10-second Shrunken Head. As Hammerstorm initiates onto Ophelia, and Tralf will go down. Zai picking up the serial killer streak with the last hit there on Boo Boo.
Yeah, again, pretty well done by good roaming by Hammerstorm, and that's what he needs to be doing.
Again. Quake going to be coming in. Matrax activated. Zai is going to be going down. Hammerstorm almost getting him out of there. There's the haunt on the Hammerstorm. 15 seconds without a blink. Need a stun. Need a stun. Not going to find one, and Hammerstorm does TP on out. Good heads-up play there by Limp.
Yeah, and a good TP it was, because Moon Queen was actually on his way with the Lunar Beam. Moonbeam, I guess it's called in Heroes of New Earth. In comes big TPs. Where are they going to be going, everyone? They're going to be trying to pick up the Draconis, yeah.
Perhaps a little bit early on those TPs. You can actually see Testy right here. Maybe even not attacking. No, he's going to attack. Wanted to get that in deny range, but Jepens actually gets the kill into Minets. Did you happen to catch that one?
Yeah, I just noticed real quickly that it was just kind of Wretched Hag jumping in with that. He didn't even use Hellfire because he doesn't have it yet. So, yeah, I guess that was just a good ward right there coming out from Fitzke, who noticed that Miners was actually pretty low and Wretched Hag could actually pick it up. And if you look at it, Miner actually went for Ghost Marches on his Tempest, and Noobg did not on his Draconis. So,
yeah,
like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Things are messed up today.
Yeah, well, no, Noobg... Or Minuts, the last probably 10 games or so that I've seen him play Tempest, which is probably the last 11 games that I've seen Minuts play, seems to always be on that hero. He does go Ghost Marchers almost all the time. And even you can see him right now, he's going to be going straight for that Shrunken Head, not going to be looking for any mobility items like a push stick or a portal key. He'll be going straight for that Shrunken Head.
That's very interesting, but I guess it's just, it comes down to the fact that you can't really. It's really difficult to position yourself perfectly enough in these team fights, seeing as there is a Tralfmadore who has an Ophelia, who has a Skeleton King, being controlled by that Ophelia, who can always like kind of counter your Tempest ultimate. I guess that's sort of one of the processes behind it. And also, you save a lot of gold not going for
Les
DK.
QQ needs to be real careful. There's the kelp field. Portal key deactivated. Activates the Matrax. Thunderclaw and Boo Boo doing some work right here. He's trying to get in there. Dragonflame missing there from Noob G. And now Mirax is going to be able to walk away. Great Arcane Shield. And, well, Testy's manning up right here. Activates the Shrunken Head. Where's the Moon Finale? Needs to activate that. The Quake going to be coming out there from... There's the Moon Finale going to be trying to get down Wild. So will Wild actually take the fall? He's not going to be falling yet. There he goes. Testy also takes the drop. Bubbles going to be the next one to go down. And Wretched Hag finishes off Draconis. So a 3-for-1 trade there. Make that 4 possibly. Quake coming out onto Tempest. And Tempest definitely going to fall as well. Well, there's the Elemental Void. Going to be able to turn it around onto Wretched Hag. So, wow. Jeppins takes his first death of the game. No, that was his third. But good turnaround there from Minuts. Used that cooldown. Would have been real stupid if he had actually died quicker. But able to get the kill onto Hag. And that's kind of worth it.
Yeah, I guess that was like it was pretty good that there was no one who had long enough range to attack him before he got that ultimate off. So yeah, well, good little turnaround by Minus, making sure that he got a 1-for-1 exchange, I guess you can call it. Now actually we will probably see Limp being able to defend this tower. Do they have a glyph ready? I'm not too sure. If they do, they could probably do something. Yes, they do have a glyph ready, and we're probably seeing Limp going in with his Hammerstone right here. He will try to get that knife,
fails though.
Misses, unfortunately. He does have a strong head though.
Oh, not gonna matter though if the Quake comes out like that. Hammerstone needs to be very careful. Man's up with the Shrunken Head, activates the Brute Strength and starts to pound in some damage. Glacius gonna be the first to drop, and Hammerstone now trying to juke and jive. The Flame Breath gonna be coming in, Axe connecting, but the Shrunken Head still activated. There's the Shell Surf, and good dodges right here from Hammerstone. Limp is actually just dodging like crazy. There's the Arcane Shield though, and the Portal Key to get away. Huge plays there by Limp.
Yeah, that was really well done. And now we actually see Tralfmadore also making a little bit of a juke happen. He doesn't have a TP, but he did succeed to juke that. Like, you just look at it, he's still standing there. He's still just waiting to get out.
Yeah.
He's realizing it's going to be so difficult for him.
Jeppins comes up with Invis, though. Going to be able to act as a scout for him, perhaps. But Jeppins is going to run into Bubbles, Minuts on Tempest, and even Draconis over here in the lane. So needs to be very, very wary. As Tralf places a Ward of Sight, actually, to check his exit path. And now he's going to make for a run for it. Hag going to run into to Draconis. And Ophelia is making the cutoff right now. There's the Hellflower being applied. The Haunt slowing him down pretty hard. And there's the Nature's Wrath as well. Fitsky grabs that kill, sniped by Glacius Thunderblast.
Fitsky, that little KSO right there. I see him do it so many times. Also when he's playing Engineer, he's like using kicks just to get kills off. It's like so funny to see when he's like, when he knows that something happened, and he knows he can get the kill without like kind of ruining the team fight, he's gonna be doing it. It's like so amusing to see.
Oh, Moon Queen needs to be careful, not being spotted out just yet, but she is so close to the enemy team. Now she's gonna be spotted. The Kelpfield is available. Are they gonna go in on her? Oh, Testy, keep running. Keep running. Oh, he turns around. Oh, are they going to go in? So tense. Not going to go in. Looking for a push instead.
It's so difficult to get a kill on the Moon Queen though, because he has the Shrunken Head as well as his TP ready, so he can pretty much always get out.
Middle
We actually see
lane.
the Initiate coming in for Tempest here.
Yeah, there it is. Quake going to be going out. Takes the Hammerstorm stun. Glacius going to get 2-shot right here. In fact, the Bear Burn should finish him off momentarily. Going for Bubbles instead. And Insania's in trouble. Bat Blast will connect, only hitting Bubbles, but he does go down. Mirax is going to be TP'd back to town by the Ophelia's Judgment. And now Tralf needs to be in a little bit of a worried state, as Jeppins going to come and try to provide some covering fire. Ophelia goes down, though, and Jeppins just blinks on out of there saying, sorry, bro, can't do anything about that.
Yeah, it's interesting to notice about these lineups. If you compare these lineups, we see sort of the late game presence from the Hellborn team is just absolutely phenomenal. Like Bubbles, Tempest, Hammerstone, Wild, so Draconis. There's none of these heroes who you wouldn't like to see on your team in late game. But if you look at the Legion side, they have both Glacius and Ophelia who kind of varies off in terms of late game. So the easy side really needs to win this early game, and if they do get into late game, I can't really see them turning this around. But of course, it's just like, I don't know. We'll see what happens, of course, but they need to really rely on working out this shit late game. Oh, sorry, early game.
Yeah, they kind of do, but well, we'll see where they go from here. Zai still farming very, very well on Wild, so choosing to go that Thunderclaw route on the Bear. And I know that item did just get changed, whether it's a nerf or a buff. I mean, I think that it just made it more reliable. The numbers should be theoretically the same. And what do you really think about the Thunderclaw pickup in general and specifically on that Bear?
Well, when you use an item like Thunderclaw, you have to rely on the enemy team not getting too many shrunken heads, because it is an item that obviously does melee damage instead of just pure raw physical damage. It helps you push a little bit because it deals that AoE damage, and he's going to be pressuring top tower, as you see right here. Yepins picks up the Nai, so well done by Yepins. But Thunderclaw is in general a pretty good pickup, also because if he gets a charged hammer, he gets so much attack speed onto that Boo Boo. It's actually one of those items which I think it is the item with the highest attack speed in the game. It's plus 70.
Hammerstorm going in here in the middle lane. Gonna choose to back on up though, even throwing up the Arcane Shield. A little bit scared of retaliation and just seeing he couldn't do the max damage. There's the Shellstar Song of the Sea. Kelpfield gonna go down to Wretched Hag. Needs a root right here if they want to finish her off. And will be able to finish her off. I don't even know if they got the root or not. Boo Boo gonna be falling most likely though. And Sadia does have the Ward of Sight though, and they might want to turn around here. No, not going to be turning around. And Testy, for all the farming that he's done, 442 gold per minute. At 28 minutes in, all he's got is a Shrunken Head, the Firebrand, and 1,600 gold. I would really expect more out of him.
Yeah, I gotta say, I agree a little bit. But that's the thing when you have so many people who's been farming, and Tralfmadore has been, like, he's been farming as well. Look at his TVM, he's sitting at 270. He hasn't been stacking at all. And that's actually the difference between where you see, like, something like Complexity Gaming and well, this team, because if you look at Complexity Gaming, you see that Chessie very, very often goes ahead, or did go ahead, and stack for his teammates instead of clearing it himself. Now we actually see the Hellborn team going for that Conqueror kill, and the question is, will they be able to finish it off? Tempest is inside Conqueror's there, and I disagree with that a little bit. He needs to be staying outside.
Oh, Ophelia minions all getting caught out right there. Double Skeleton Kings and a Wolf Commander going down. Kong is now confirmed, and Meraxis looks like he wants to go and walks right by a Ward of Sight, though, and the Hellborn team will choose to fall back. Probably the correct decision. The confined space right there. Moon Queen Ultimate could be able to do a lot. Quake actually going out, but good portal key there from Limp. And now Meraxis actually might have to be a little bit careful, as Boo Boo Bear is there with his Mocker Brilliance to deactivate any further portal keys.
Yeah, I gotta say, that was it was pretty weird to see Tralfmadore going in with all of his screams to scout out Congo. Like, he could have just went in with one and getting the information that way, but he did decide to go in with all of them. Questionable decision, I guess, but yeah. So Congo is now at, well, he's still at 80% HP, so he will be fine for now. But it looks like Hellborn might actually try to put some more pressure on him. See, there's QQ using a Lock and Shield right here.
Meraxis trying to run away. Well, there's the Hammerstorm throw. No Arcane Shield. Meteor going to be coming in as well. Brute Strength activated. Meraxis going to be just fine for right now. Turns it around. There's the Quake going to be coming out. No Elemental Void from Tempest just yet. Hag comes in with a huge map blast, hitting 5 players. Elemental Void catching absolutely nothing. Kelpfield going to stun him. Ophelia, Wretched Hag able to get on out of there. And looks like nobody's dead yet. Actually, Tempest goes down right there. Ophelia shortly there to fall. Moon Queen's here, though. Moon Finale activated. Draconis goes down. Hammerstorm goes down. Wild Soul takes the fall. And Bubbles, the last one up. Going to try to get on out of there. Auto attack not going to quite connect. But that was a gigantic fight for the mixed scrim team. Double damage Meraxis. Hag with a 5-man bat blast. Moon Queen with the perfect ultimate. I mean, that was a great fight.
That was a great fight indeed, and a huge ultimate coming out from Anchor Chesty playing the Moon Queen, and a very, very weak ultimate from Tempest. That was very unfortunate, and Wretched Hag made like a huge bad blast happen as well. So he made it very difficult for Tempest to get into position because he simply did not have the time for it. He got down to like 40% HP, and then he was about to like, he either had to use his ultimate or he could like just wait for it and die. So he took the chance and unfortunately missed it out. And now Moon Queen will be picking up both Rarics. Look at the damage coming out right there. It's just like,
it's preposterous. I mean, look at the damage on the heroes. Look at Bubbles' HP drop in the back of the base. This is 30 minutes in with Moon Queen with minimal farm. It's It's absolutely absurd, but I want to go back to something that you pointed out a little bit earlier, that the Ghost Marchers from Minuts, he kind of goes those to give himself some additional mobility to get into position, especially when he's not considering going for a positioning item like a portal key or a tablet of command very early on. That fight was a prime example of why many other players are fond of those positioning items a little bit quicker. They just want to be able to get into the position and secure a big elemental void without taking a ton of damage first. And right there, you said it yourself. He was at 40% HP before he was even in remotely a decent position to get in there. With Portal Key, with a tablet of command, you can close that distance without putting yourself in harm's way in a much shorter amount of time.
Indeed so, and I gotta say, I'm not too fond of how Minus has been playing this Emphasis game. I feel like he could do way better with a PK, but obviously a great player, so we'll see what he'll be capable of in the rest of the
Moonbeam's going on
fight.
in there. There's the Moonbeam. Activates the Geometer's Bane. Shrunken Head is up. Moon Finale going to be going out. Not going to be hitting too much of anything, but Boo Boo Bear. Bat Blast going out. Actually only going to connect with Wretched Hag. Moon Queen still having a man fight. Shellsurge, Song of the Sea going to be coming in. Hammerstorm does go down. Moon Queen still alive. Now man fighting with Zion Wild Soul. Minuts goes down. Zai goes down, and that's a genocide. A 5-0 team fight in favor of the mixed scrim team. And that's it, right there. It's done.
The GG well played comes off, and that was like amazing to see. Well, not really amazing to see, but tdM actually got owned right there, and even just 2 team fights, even though they've been playing really well throughout the entire game, they got beaten in 2 team fights, and a little bit, I gotta say, a little bit premature TC from my point of view, seeing as I kind of did feel like they had the late game with the picks that they had, but Hoopg just really didn't have the farm that it took to make these team fights happen, and really see how that Whispering Helm, which Moon Queen picked up, really sort of helped him out in the end. He was just barely living.
I gotta give a shout out to Testy there. I mean,
yeah.
The man up that he did right there, he literally stood in one position for 15 seconds straight and just never stopped auto-attacking. And he killed everyone, and his team killed everyone, and he didn't die. There's so many times when a player just runs away saying, oh, well, I'm going to die if I stay in here and do this, but not for Testy right there. But that's the game. Mixed Scrim takes it over tdM, so congratulations to Tralf, Jeppins, Fitsky, Retzkar, and Les QQ. I mean, Les QQ not even really... He hasn't played competitively in like over a year. Last time that he was playing, I think, was with blackfade.org. So getting pretty close to a year, but doing well there. And, well, I think I'm going to go to a break while we get the next game set up, FJ.
Yeah, sure. Let's hope for some other games to happen. And so far, definitely a pleasure casting with you. And I'm going to be here most of the night, seeing as, well, not hopefully with you, but that's, well, no school tomorrow, so why not go ahead and just keep on casting if these players are capable of playing more. We'll see, and if you're capable of casting, that is.
Yeah, I'm planning on being here for a while. My chest hasn't collapsed yet. It's trying to, that's for sure. But gonna go ahead and give a shout out to Complexity Gaming. Check them out over at complexitygaming.com. Without their support, coLcast would not be happening. And of course, to our sponsors, QPad, PNY, Origin, Sound Blaster, Twitch, and G8 brand. And well, I'm gonna kick this to a break while we get the next game set up. Thanks for watching.